Hey, what's up guys, Nick here. Welcome back to a very exciting video, as today I'll be doing my very own Halo tier list video, so you guys will finally know what is my favorite Halo game and also what are my least favorite Halo games, because surprise surprise, not every Halo game is an S tier game. I'm sorry, has to be said, but let me just preface this video. This is merely my opinion. Yes, my opinion might be the objectively correct one, but it is my opinion, so if you disagree, if you think I'm wrong, that's totally fine. You might enjoy a game for a different reason from me, as I'll be going through each reason why I like or dislike every game as I get to it. So before you get your pitchforks out and try and murder me for not enjoying your game, it's my opinion, alright? Okay? I'm sorry in advance. We're trying to hit 90,000 subscribers, so every new sub is very much appreciated. Okay, so I'm sorry for all the adverts around the screen. I simply don't know how to get rid of them. But as you can see, we have all of the Halo games down at the bottom. We have the S, A, B, C, D, and bad tier. But at the very beginning, we have Halo Reach.
Winter contingency has been declared. All units are mobilized and ready.
This is Sierra 320. Prep for combat insertion.
What the hell was that? We're coming in hot. Hold on.
Halo Reach, one of my favorite Halo games, okay? But there is a big but when it comes to Halo Reach. Even though I absolutely adore Halo Reach's campaign, everything about the campaign to me is amazing, the multiplayer sometimes can really get on my nerves. Halo Reach's multiplayer is really frustrating because some days it can be really fun, other days it can be I always find the DMR and the Bloom just to be so frustrating, not to mention armor lock, and I also think the jetpack is a little bit frustrating to play against online. But overall, Halo Reach is a very good Halo game. The music is also incredible, so I think right off the bat we're gonna knock Halo Reach out and put it at this is tough. Oh, no, not D tier. I promise not D. It's going to land itself at B tier. I think Reach is a good B, even though I adore the campaign, and even sometimes I would say Reach's campaign is my favorite. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day. I think the frustrations of the multiplayer granted a B tier. I can't overlook it that much.
In the event of unexpected shutdown, the entire system will move to standby status. All remaining platforms are now ready for remote activation.
So Halo 2, I'll be honest with you, I didn't play Halo 2 whatsoever back when it first came out. My first ever Halo game was Halo 3 in 2008. So the first time, and I know, prepare yourselves, the first time I ever played Halo 2 was whenever the MCC released. And I know that is absolutely insane. I can't believe I call myself a Halo fan, and the first time I played Halo 2 was in 2014 on the MCC of all games, where it was kind of broken and not functioning correctly, but I just grew up not playing Halo until 2008, so I'm sorry, okay? But I will say, whenever I finally did get to play Halo 2, I really love the campaign. Halo 2's campaign is one of the best campaigns in all of Halo, in my opinion. The music is incredible, the overall story, the gameplay, everything about Halo 2 is super fun, but there is always a big but with all of these games. Halo 2 is one of those multiplayers that I have fully never got my head around for whatever reason. Halo 2 Classic is a game that I just don't agree with. I don't know what it is, something about the multiplayer and me just don't fully get on. Whereas Halo 2 Anniversary, I really enjoy that multiplayer. So that's kind of where I'm a bit of a crossroads, because I'm putting H2 Classic and Halo 2 Anniversary in the same rating here. Alright, I'm gonna have to put it somewhere. So overall, love Halo 2. I think it's an incredible game, but I think it's gonna have to go... Oh, this is so tough, dude. It has to go B tier. I think a B tier. I think at the very end, if there's any revisions that need to be made, I will do that. But this is really hard. I'm trying to be very strict. I could very easily put everything S or A tier, but I'm trying to make it as even as I possibly can.
I know you. Your past. your future. This is the way the world ends.
Halo 3, S tier, boom. Halo 3 it should be pretty obvious that I would put Halo 3 at S tier. I feel like this is where most people would put Halo 3 unless you absolutely hate it. But Halo 3, as I mentioned, was my first ever Halo game. Oh, you're so close! Yo, you were so close!
God. This mugger's just getting weak. I'm coming back.
Obviously, nostalgia plays a huge part in all of my great memories. You know, I remember going to my friend's house and playing LANs and just playing multiplayer every day after school. I would jump into multiplayer and even go into theater mode just to take screenshots of me and my friends Spartans. Like, Halo 3 was its absolute prime for me when it comes to Halo. I think the gameplay still to this day is as solid as it ever was, especially the MCC after they did the hit registration update. Just feels absolutely beautiful. Halo 3 is the only Halo game that I can still play pretty much every single day and not get that bored of. I still love this game pretty much just as much as I did when it first, you know, was in my hands back in 2008. So Halo 3, campaign, incredible, played it a billion times. Multiplayer, incredible, played that a billion times. Just the music, everything about it. Halo 3, GOAT, absolute GOAT. Forge custom games, everything about it. Absolute goated game, one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. All right, love Halo 3, incredible game. Halo 5, very interesting game. If you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that Halo 5 pretty much made my entire career, I guess, if you want to call that, here on YouTube and Twitch. Without Halo 5, I would be absolutely nowhere. But the problem with Halo 5 is that the campaign absolutely sucks. Which is very disappointing. I've put 90 days into Halo 5's multiplayer, so I obviously adore this game, and for that reason it's going to A tier. The reason why I'm not putting the game that made my entire career at S tier is because, unfortunately, a big half of the game, the campaign, was not good. I actively do not enjoy Halo 5's story. I've never once thought about going back to play it for fun, and I feel like if that's the case, no way can it be an S tier game. But I think the multiplayer alone is just incredible. Probably maybe my favorite multiplayer in the entire franchise. Halo 3 is pretty much neck and neck, to be honest with you. It kind of really depends on the day, but I just don't play as much Halo 5 nowadays as I have played so much of it. But back in the good old days of Halo 5, I was absolutely addicted. I loved the multiplayer in this game so much. The Forge mode is absolutely incredible. I don't even know how to forge, but I just know that the Forge mode is nuts. The custom games that have come out of this game as well are absolutely incredible. So Halo 5, very solid A game. I think that's a very good spot for this title. Halo Wars 2, okay. Halo Wars 2, very interesting title. It introduced us to the Banished, which are obviously going to be in Halo Infinite. I thoroughly enjoyed Halo Wars 2. I thought it was a great game. But the weird thing about Halo Wars 2, my favorite part of it is probably the music. It's a game that I really enjoy, but I've never once thought about going back to play. For whatever reason, it's not a game that I feel kind of drawn back to whatsoever. So for that reason, I think I'm going to put Halo Wars 2 at C. It's a great game, it's really fun, I really love how it kind of continues the Halo story in a fun new direction, but I just don't ever feel like I want to go back and play it. It's just not something that I'm ever drawn to, but saying that, it is fun. Halo Wars 2 is a very fun game, but I'm just not a very big RTS kind of player. I just don't ever feel like I want to play those, so for that reason, it's a C game, it's fun, but you know, it is what it is. If you slap a Halo skin on any genre of game, I'll probably play and enjoy it, but I'm always going to be an FPS guy first and foremost. Halo Spartan Assault, and I'll be 100% honest, I have played Halo Spartan Assault before, but I basically know nothing about this game, and I feel like that is the same for everyone. Obviously, some people have played through Halo Spartan Assault, and they've probably really enjoyed it. I did have a fun time with what I played, but at the same time, it is a very, very forgettable game. So for that reason, Spartan Assault is going in the D tier Halo game. This is me comparing it to Halo 3, which is an S tier title. So Spartan Assault, I'm sorry, you're fun, music is awesome, it's real nice just to hop in and listen to and play some different kind of Halo, but it's not something I would ever personally care to play. So for that reason, D tier Halo game. If you love it, I apologize, but it just is not it for me personally. I just never feel like I want to go back and play it. Combat Evolved. Okay, this is the title I feel like will either make you hate me or respect me for standing strong to my true opinions. So Combat Evolved, first time I ever played CE was in 2011, I believe, whenever Combat Evolved Anniversary came out. Again, I didn't have an Xbox growing up, so I didn't really have an opportunity to play it ever whenever I was younger. So I played it first of all on the Anniversary Edition. It was fun, I'll be honest with you. The first time I ever played through the CE campaign, I didn't have the best time. Obviously, I knew that it was a fun game. Obviously, I knew the campaign was awesome, but I think you truly appreciate Combat Evolved if you played it when you were growing up. If you played it when you were a kid, you have so many fantastic memories, but if you're someone like me who played it a little bit later, you played it when you had already played like the other Halo games, which felt a little bit more updated. Unfortunately, CE feels a little bit dated. Parts of it just don't hold up super well. Some parts of it do hold up super well, but some parts of it in the campaign just feel a little bit repetitive to me. Also, the multiplayer of Combat Evolved frustrates me to no end, and I always get met with the same response: oh, just don't take it serious, just have a bit of fun. It doesn't matter that if you look at a warthog the wrong way, it'll kill you. It's like, that might be fair enough, but for me, I enjoy trying to win every game that I play of Halo multiplayer, and with CE, there's so much BS that happens that it makes it kind of hard for me sometimes to enjoy. So I get it. If you're like a super old school Halo player, you probably adore CE. If you're someone like me that played it a little bit late, you might find it a little bit dated. You might just not be able to find that nostalgic chord to make it like an S tier game. For that reason, I'm going to make CE an A tier game. And I was going through back and forth in my head for a long time. I think the reason why I have to make it an A tier game and not an B tier game, simply because that's where it all started. You know what I mean? As much as I maybe don't enjoy the multiplayer, or I find the campaign a little bit repetitive, CE is where Halo started, and I have to put respect on its name. All right, so if you're angry at me for not insta putting CE as an S tier game, I apologize. But yeah, I'll never say CE is the perfect game. I would never put it on the same bracket as Halo 3 as an S tier, but CE, I'll put it A tier simply for the respect that I have for it. All right, so if you're hating me right now, it is what it is. Halo 3 ODST. Okay, ODST is an interesting game, as it's kind of like a weird slice of Halo. It's not like anything we've seen before with any of the other titles, which is part of the reason why I love it so much. I think ODST is an incredible experience. If you love Halo and you love the lore of Halo, you just love a Halo story, ODST is a must play. So if you're someone out there who for whatever reason has never played it, stop what you're doing. Well, finish the video and then stop what you're doing and then go play ODST. Incredible game. The music, the Mombasa streets, just experiencing this game is unlike anything I've ever had before in a video game, I believe. I think ODST is just a beautiful, beautiful experience. So for that reason, B tier, dude. The reason it's not a little bit higher is because it didn't have a multiplayer mode. Yes, it did have Firefight, which I thoroughly enjoy. I think ODST's Firefight is my favorite in the franchise. Unfortunately, Reach's Firefight and especially Halo 5's Firefight aren't quite the same. ODST's though, really, really fantastic. So that kind of props it up a little bit. The fact that it's, you know, Firefight PvE mode is very, very good to back up an already incredible campaign. Also, super side note story. The reason why I love ODST is because this is the reason why I was able to unlock recon armor back in the good old days of Halo 3. I got recon armor probably a week after Halo 3 ODST first came out, because if you did all the Vidmaster achievements, you could unlock the armor. And I absolutely loved having my recon helmet. I have a lot of great memories with ODST, so solid B. Very, very solid B game.
Chief! John!
I'm here.
Halo 4 is probably the strangest Halo game because most people that I talk to say that they hate Halo 4, say that they can't stand Halo 4, but then you get people like me, you get the weirdos like me that for whatever reason absolutely love Halo 4. I started my YouTube channel back in 2014 and I started it by making Halo 4 content because I enjoyed the game that much. I think the campaign is awesome. I think the music in Halo 4 is amazing. I think the multiplayer, even though it is very different from the other Halo multiplayers, is really, really fun. I think Halo 4 is super fast paced, and for that reason, I'm gonna put Halo 4 a B tier, dude. It's not quite Halo 5. It also doesn't have the same impact that CE has as a Halo title, but I really, really loved Halo 4. I think it's just so much fun. I think the big team battle in Halo 4 is probably the best in the series, in my opinion. So if you disagree with that, fair enough, but I love Halo 4. I can still play this game very happily to this day and have a blast. So very easy B tier Halo game, in my opinion. Next up, we have Halo Spartan Strike. Again, same old story as Spartan Assault. I have tried this game before. It's just not something I would ever really care to go back and play. The music is cool though. You know, I think every Halo game has incredible music. That's one thing that this franchise has going for it. It has incredible music. So I think I'm going to put this at D tier simply because I don't really care about it that much, as harsh as that may sound. I'm sorry for any of you Spartan Strike absolute purists out there, but it's just not a game that I really care about that much. But it's fun. It is still a pretty fun game. Halo Wars, the OG Halo Wars game. And I think a lot of people are going to be kind of surprised with where I'm going to put this one, but I absolutely loved Halo Wars 1. It is probably one of my favorite Halo stories, to be honest with you. I think it is absolutely enjoyable in basically every single way. And as I said before, I'm not a huge like RTS player. I don't really play these types of games whatsoever, but however they made Halo Wars was just super, super fun for me. I think the music, again, is incredible. I think the missions and the story is super enjoyable, and I also played quite a lot of the multiplayer back in the day when Halo Wars first came out. So for that reason, and I know this is going to be a shocker, I'm going to put Halo Wars as an A tier Halo game. I think for what it is, it did a fantastic job, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Halo Wars. So really great game. I love Halo Wars 1. Super, super good game. Halo Fireteam Raven. If you've never heard of this game before, I wouldn't blame you. It's basically an arcade Halo game where it is canon. It takes place during Combat Evolved, and I think you're a group of Marines kind of doing your own side mission while Master Chief is doing his own thing. So I have played this. I have played the entire thing. I actually got to play it at 343 Industries themselves, which is awesome. They have the machine set up at their studios. So I was there, I got to play it, and I also got to play it at Halo Outpost Philadelphia whenever I was there, and that's where I played through the entire thing with my buddy Pixel Flare. So we played the entire thing from start to beginning in a 2-player version of the arcade machine. It was fun, dude. It was really fun. It's not like some mind-blowing next level experience, but for what it is, an arcade game, really fun. The music's cool. Just the way you have to shoot your gun and, like, you know, play Halo in a totally different way, I found very enjoyable. So for that reason, I'm gonna put Fireteam Raven. Where am I gonna put Fireteam Raven? I think this is a B tier game, simply because it's totally its own experience, and I think it actually is very fun. It's an easy B for me, so yes. Okay, so I've decided to come back after already recording this video because I would really like to add the MCC to this tier list. And you're probably thinking, Nick, why are you adding the MCC? It's a collection of all the games you've just give a ranking to, and I know it's kind of strange, but the MCC is its own experience. It's very unique in the Halo game realm, so I thought it would be cool to kind of give it its own spot. Obviously, the MCC has had a pretty weird life cycle. You know, whenever it first came out, it was broken, it was unplayable. If I was to go and add this to the tier list back then, it would probably be in the bad tier. It would just be not good. It wasn't functional whatsoever. But now, all of these years later, after the last couple of years of updates, after all the fixes that 343 have done, and also adding the entire collection to PC now, I would give MCC a very solid A tier rating. It's not quite an S, it's so close to being an S tier Halo game in my opinion. Obviously, they still have some things to fix, some features to add, and I think, you know, after some more time, after a couple more months of updating and fixing, MCC is going to be an S-tier Halo title. But until they just have every single thing fixed and updated, it's going to be an A-tier title. In my opinion, the MCC has come a really long way and turned into something absolutely incredible, and I honestly feel very lucky as a Halo fan to have the MCC, and as a gaming fan in general, I think Halo fans are very lucky to have something like the Master Chief Collection. But I think I'm pretty happy with my tier list here, everyone. If you disagree or if you agree with me, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and make sure you drop a like down below. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're brand new. If you enjoyed this type of video and would like to see me rank other things in the Halo universe, maybe rank different weapons like power weapons or something like that, make sure you drop a comment, let me know down below. But without further ado, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you don't hate me too much for putting Combat Evolved as an A instead of an S tier game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!